So
That's
so
awesome.
now after this is done, we'll both get a when it finishes processing, we'll both receive like an alert saying your recording's ready, and you can save it to your phone and share it wherever you want. So
That's pretty sick. That's awesome.
thanks. So yeah, work in progress, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm quite enjoying promoting this.
I think
weird.
this fits right along with what the type of company and the type of product that you would love to work with. And yeah, I really see it being huge. I think something like this is very valuable. People love watching conversations between other two people. It's kind of like that the voyeurism of Facebook, that appeal that a lot of people get. They don't ever comment, like, or anything, but millions and billions of people are just watching, at any given time. And they take their opinion. And on a regular basis, I'll talk to my friends. They'll say, yeah, I saw that post, but I didn't get a like. I didn't get a comment. And it's just they would rather stay quiet about it, but they do still follow. And it's like all the silent followers that you have on Twitter, people with millions of followers.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's true.
They'll post something and maybe get 10,000 likes, but you know what? 500,000 people saw it.
It's true. I actually can't wait to get, like, when we're released. I'm going to start. I've already spoken with a presidential candidate. Oh shit! I lost.
Yeah, I just ran I just tabbed over. I got a message, and sorry about that.
Yeah, you disappeared for a sec. No, what I was going to say was I've spoken to a presidential candidate already, and he's going to be coming on, doing a session. So I'm excited about that, but I've got to release the app first to the public. I had a conversation with one of my friends this morning who's a Bitcoin expert, and we were going back and forth. It's quite a good one. I recorded it, but I've decided not to share it yet. There's like all kinds of different stuff cropping up that's kind of interesting. So I think there's going to be a ton of content that I can share that's going to be entertaining. And this is the difference between something like this and maybe like one of the competitors, is that because it's so focused on like a specific topic, I think it's more shareable content. I think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that, but I think.
So how are you? What's the next step? How are you going to organize the content or the conversations on the homepage so people can easily find what they're interested in?
Well, you can search it now. We're just organized. We're just listing the live battles at the top at the moment, which is like empty at the moment because only it's usually only me and one other person who are battling, if that. But I guess you saw that, right? You saw the battle listed on the homepage. That's when you watched me and my sister talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just list those at the top. It doesn't require much organization, but we're going to have hashtags. We're going to have maybe even communities. I'm not like Reddit type things, but for now, it doesn't require a whole lot of organization. My interest is more in the putting people on opposite sides together, and the measuring of who's winning the argument discussion at the time. I'm really interested in that side.
To focus on one improvement at a time. I understand that. I think once you start to grow and the content becomes more and more, organization is going to be key for getting people to engage quickly with what they're interested in.
Yeah.
So, for example, like the communities or the buttons, if you look at an app like OfferUp or something, and when you first join OfferUp, it has everything, right? It's just everything near you. It's organized by distance. Yours could be organized by time. This is what's happening, the most recent things. And then if you click the menu button, then you can sort more by category: furniture, video games, collectibles.
Yeah.
So maybe something along those lines would give people the opportunity to just find something random or find something in a category they want to discuss, sports, things like that.
Yeah, that's true. I actually, it's funny, you mentioned OfferUp. I just sold something like an hour ago. Met someone on their lunch break and sold a bike rack that doesn't fit my car anymore. It's quite a good app, and it came out of nowhere. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna look at all these different forms of inspiration for the UI. I mean, I even was considering like Tinder, swipe to see all the different conversations and whether you agree or not. But we've got a little mock-up of that, but we haven't implemented it yet. So. I'm not
That's
sure
awesome,
if we're going
man.
to do that either. Nice ambulance in the background of this conversation.
Yeah, you got a house alarm going off or something. What, are you robbing a house while you're talking to me, or what?
I can't disclose that. No, it's
like the perfect alibi. Look, I was on a conversation on my app. There's no way I could have been robbing that house. I'll be like, I just saw you put something in a bag. What do you do?
I always lie. I'm always lying. So yeah. Anyway, let's end this one, and I'll give you a shout on FaceTime instead.
Yeah, real quick about your point on goals, just so that we can circle back to what you actually posted. I think goals are like you said. The ultimate goal of man is to do something, create something better. Or
is that what we're discussing? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. No. So I was just saying my point was simply this, right? The day that man creates an intelligence or becomes an intelligence that can enhance itself, basically goes off on like one of these asymptotes, right? It heads to the sky in terms of intelligence. And at that point, all problems should be solved relatively easily. And it's going to save a lot of lives. And the sooner we can do that, the sooner we can save a lot of lives and make lives better.
Sounds like a glorious democratic socialist society.
Does it? All right, we'll have to have a different battle on that topic.
So
you should put some of your Bernie Sanders crap on here, though. I'd love to see. Like, I've got some.
I'm more than happy to speak to anybody, including your libertarian friends, and more than happy.
We got some anarcho-capitalists on this app who would love to tangle with you.
I would have some words for some unbridled capitalists. But
yeah, create some positions on that. I'd love to see that Bernie Sanders shit on here. I'd love it. Sorry,
I have
goals.
No problem making a few conversations, but I think with goals it becomes relative to your societal influences and sociology, because you have basic needs you have to cover first, like survival. And if you live in a third world country where you have to worry about what to put on the table, or pre-technology where the majority of your day was in the field tending your crops or preparing for winter, because otherwise you would starve and your family would starve, you have no time to really try to advance society or even advance your own well-being. And it wasn't until right. And there's still a lot of societies that are like that in the world. So I think technology is a great advancement, but global trade is really what pushed everyone, and you have to meet your basic needs before you can focus on the well-being of others.
I agree.
All right, brother.
But I think all those things are steps. Whoa! I think all those things are steps along the path to, what I proposed in the original position, which was that man basically supersedes himself. I think all those things, like getting people to survive, they are, once you achieve making something that can enhance its own intelligence, you've reached the goal that will solve all the other problems.
Well, it also depends on the motivation of the man creating the technology. If they're doing it based on greed, then maybe it won't solve man's problems. It'll only make one man richer.
Yes, in a sense, but I think that it might make one man richer, but how is that man going to get richer? That man's only going to get richer if people pay him, and people will only, or pay his system or whatever, but people will only pay him or his system if they get value.
Oh, of course. System. So the argument is this. At one point, is there a network effect to where technology was so influential that it affected all of society, regardless of the requirement of paying? So like the iPhone, for example, changed the face of technology, and you can argue that it improved life of the entire world, if not at least all of America, because of smartphone saturation. Samsung followed, Galaxy, like Android, whatever. So the question is this, though: what if their technology only affects the top 5% of society? Is that something that would be good for society, or would it be worse for society? Would it bridge a gap, or would it create a larger gap?
Okay, so yes, I see the point you're making. It depends. If it is a greedy system, it will want to sell to as many customers as possible, right?
Possibly.
It will first target the people with the most money who can pay the higher prices, but then it will sell sort of like cheaper versions, cheaper models or whatever to the other people. So they'll get like half an intelligence upgrade or something like that. So there's definitely a you know, it would benefit those who could afford it first. But this is like the old Margaret Thatcher thing, right? It's like she was talking about her opposition in the Labour Party when they said, you would rather everybody be within this band of wealth versus some people be here and some people be all the way up here, because you're concerned about the gap. I'm concerned about raising everybody up. So I could argue that, like,
I definitely want the bottom to be raised as well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, well, we raise the bottom and the top, and if the top gets raised a bit more, so there's a bigger gap there. Yes, it's a bigger gap, but it doesn't mean that.
So it's not going to be like the Hunger Games where you have the people living in the city and everyone else laboring, or it's not going to be like what's that movie with Matt Damon where you have people living in space around in the spaceship that circles Earth.
I forget the name of it, but I know the one you mean.
You have the rich people there living in the clean environment in the space, and then you have everyone else on Earth in the desolate Earth.
Well, I think that some people would imagine that's what they want, but I don't think that's really what people want. I think most people, when they make it, they realize that being rich is not that good. You need to be part of society and contribute something and make things better, which is why people like Matt Damon are so concerned about the people who are, less wealthy than him, teachers and all that jazz.
This is why you're so concerned.
Well, I'm so concerned because I want to argue with them about Bernie Sanders.
All right, brother. I'll let you go on that. And good job on the app, man. I love it. And
thank you.
Let me know if you need anything on my end.
Thank you. Just create some positions about Bernie Sanders being awesome, because you're going to attract arguments like a magnet.
Oh, bring them on.
It's going to be beautiful.
Every single one of those greedy capitalists. I'll get them.
All right. You've been warned. All right. See you later. Thanks for testing.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.